All right, guys, it has been a minute since I've done a video. I really intended to do one before Christmas and whatnot, but it's just been that time of year. It's busy and family and illness and travel, and it all piles on. But uh, but I'm actually kind of glad that I didn't, because what I wanted to do a video on, what I wanted to cover in this one, uh, makes. Hey, look, there's my dog joining in. Little photo bomb there. Um, what I wanted to talk about actually fits perfectly right here today because it's New Year's Eve. Um, and what I was going to bring up in the next video, this one, is is that right around the beginning of December last year at church, we uh, we did a thing. Pastor handed out a bunch of little cards, and we wrote a note to our future selves. What we wanted 2025 to look like, what we wanted to accomplish, what we were praying about, um, things like that. And then we self addressed an envelope, dropped them back into the basket, and then sent them back up. And he mailed them out at the beginning of December this year. So we got all those back right at the beginning of December this year. Now, for the most part, I put it out of my head and didn't think about it. I thought about it a few times, but I didn't really put a whole lot of thought into it. And I just kind of forgot what I had written on the card, just going about life. And then it came back in. And when it came in, it actually sat in the house for a few days because I was busy. And I thought about it, and I had forgotten what I put on the card. I expected to open it and find a list of things that I wanted to accomplish throughout the year. And so I had kind of thought about it then. I thought, I wonder how many of those things I'm going to be able to check off. I wonder how many of those things I actually managed to accomplish. And And so then finally, after a few days, I had a few minutes of free time and with my wife here, because that's the other thing is I'm one of those guys. I'm like, hey, these came in, let's open them together. And so I opened it, and I don't have it here. I actually managed to lose it, which might be a God thing, but so I was going to read the whole thing to you, and I only remember a couple of important parts, but I'll get to that. Anyway, so I opened it, and it was not the list that I expected it to be. Um, like I said, I kind of forgot what I put on there. And I opened it, and what I read back to myself really didn't surprise me because it's the kind of person that I am, what I wrote. But it it had an effect on me. It was a little profound. It was a little it was a little bit of a gut punch because I failed. Um, but it also, the two parts of it that really stood out are not only what I wish for myself in the next year, but what I wish for you in the next year as well. Because I opened with this. The very first line said, I hope you gave up. I hope that you got out of God's way and let Him do what He needed to do instead of trying to keep control. And I am bad at that. And I did not do that last year. I failed horribly at that. And it is my sincere prayer and hope that I can do that this year, that I can get out of God's way. It's my hope that you can get out of God's way, that you will give Him control, that if you have not chosen to make Jesus the Lord of your life, that you will, and that you will then give Him the reins and get out of the way and let Him lead, and that you'll just do what needs to be done as He leads you to do it. Because I've done it before, and it is a better way to go. And when I try to take control, when I try to lead, I'm not good at it. I mess it up a lot. I screw it up, and things don't get handled the way they need to, and they don't progress the way they should. I hope you give up, and I hope you let God take care of it. And then I closed the letter, and that's all I remember is I closed the letter with this: love yourself. And the only thing that wasn't there that I would add is forgive yourself. We all mess it up. We all fail. And the hardest thing that I do, or the hardest thing for me, is to forgive myself when I screw up. And that's part of loving yourself, is to let yourself off the hook. You're going to mess up. Learn from it. Do better the next time. But don't beat yourself over the head with it constantly. Learn the lesson. Move on. Be better. I pray we all have a great 2026. And I pray we all take the passenger seat. Love you guys. We'll see you next year.